and you're probably seeing about that. So I do have one of the larger things. Hello, this is Jim with Surviving Life. I'm going to go over some items I found at Walmart recently for a really good deal. One of them being a shelter. Everybody knows that shelter is one of the survival priorities that you must have. The other thing is a cook set that I found, as well as a camp stove, one of those little butane propane camp stoves. I'm really excited about the purchase because I purchased all the items for under just a little over $60. It was $60.47. Something I've been struggling with for quite a while. I've been needing to get an actual tent. I have a tarp tent, but I wanted an actual tent, and I've been looking at backpacking tents, and although I'd like to get an REI tent, they're quite expensive. However, this Walmart tent that I found looks like it's pretty good quality. I've watched some video reviews, and I'm going to bust it out here pretty soon and get it set up, and I'll show you some pictures and some video of that, as well as I'm going to go over the cook set that I got. I'm out here on a camp out trip a couple nights and just getting ready to set up camp. So I'm pretty excited. I want to get this backpacking tent set up, and I'll go over a little bit of the specs on that, as well as the cook set. It's a Stanley cook set, and this is an Ozark Trail backpacking tent, and then an Elk City propane butane stove. And like I said, all that for just a little over $60 with free shipping. So I'm pretty stoked. This is something that's been bothering me for a while. I wanted to get a tent and something other than just a wood burning stove for at least the initial 72 hours to cook with. So again, I'm going to go over that stuff and let you know what I think of it. Stay tuned. All right, I got the tent all set up. It took about 5 to 7 minutes to set it up. Real easy tent to set up. As you can see in the video and the pictures, kind of how I laid it out. It goes together real well. So I'm going to go ahead and go show you some video of that completed tent, and then like I said, I'm going to go ahead and sleep in it tonight and let you know what my thoughts are of the full experience with the tent. So you can see the doorway is cut out here on the Rainfly. And there's only one door on this tent. Some of the REI tents have dual doors, so they have one on each side. But this one does just have the one. One cool thing I've noticed about this tent is the sidewalls go up a little bit on the sides. The bottom part, you can see here. And the Rainfly comes completely out over it, except for this corner right here. On some of the corners, you can see that it doesn't quite come all the way down. And then obviously over the door, it doesn't. But to my knowledge, it's still waterproof. Those parts of the tent must be treated. Pretty cool how the Rainfly attaches. There's just a bungee and a hook, and it just attaches right to that D-ring there on the webbing loop on each corner. So that's pretty cool. And then you just have a webbing loop on the middle section that hooks to your tent stake. So pretty good system. All right, let's go ahead and take a look inside. So here's the inside view. Don't know how well this is going to show up. But there is actually quite a bit of room. I believe this tent is somewhere around 7 feet in length. See, there's a side pocket there to put stuff in. I think it's going to be plenty big enough for me and my pack when I'm in it tonight. I'll go ahead and check back with you a little bit later when I get in this tent and check it out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sleep in this tent and let you know what I think. Let you know how the night in this tent was. Good morning. I just woke up and had a pretty good night in this tent. Seemed to have enough room. Just looking around the tent right now, and I noticed that up on the ceiling here there's some condensation. You can see it here through the mesh, and I think it's just from breathing overnight. One thing about this tent, it doesn't have a lot of ventilation. It does have this mesh on the roof that you can see here. However, there's really no windows that open other than this one over here on the side door. If you unzip the panel, you can actually put the flap down and have some ventilation that way. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of ventilation, like I said, so you've got to rely on this upper roof area for the air to come in. I think that's where part of the problem was. I had the flap on the door up overnight, so the next time I try it, I'll put that flap down to have a little more ventilation in here, see if there's a problem with that condensation. So yeah, anyhow, I would go ahead and recommend this tent. It's fairly lightweight, and it's made pretty good for a Walmart tent. I think it's fairly adequate. So my overall impression of this tent is it's well worth the money. You know, you're not paying a whole lot, so if something happens to it, you can always get rid of it. Thank you for watching my video, and be sure to stay tuned. My next video is going to be on the Stanley stainless steel cooker and nesting cup set, along with the Ozark Trail cook pot and the Elk City mini camping stove.